to a weird laying in bed episode of Normal America. It's been a long day, work stuff. So I just wanted to give an update. I feel terrible. I feel like I haven't kept up on the news or anything for a while. Coming into this year, we hit 10,000 subs. Um, I thought that we had a lot of good momentum. We had a lot of good show ideas and stuff. And I really was committed to really hitting the ground running and getting a lot of content out there, increasing my reach and increasing the quality and the quantity of sort of the material I was putting out there. And it's been it's been weird. On one hand, I am objectively one of the luckiest people that have ever lived. I continue to be incredibly blessed when it comes to sort of the health of me, my family, uh, just having a loving family, having the greatest family. They're really amazing, and nothing that I'm going to say today is indicative of that of my home life. It's fantastic. I'm very excited. Hank's first t-ball practice is Thursday, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be fun. I don't even think he gets the concept of baseball. We had him out there yesterday trying to like explain. He wants to hit the ball backwards. Why do I have to hit the ball this direction? That's where all the people are with gloves. If I hit it the other way, no one's gonna get the ball. It's like, yeah, it's kind of brilliant. But so everything's good in that. But half of my life literally is spent at work doing home health care. And so on any given week, at least half of the hours in a week, quite literally, I'm at work. Now I have downtime at work, but quite literally, I'm away from home half the week. And so when you do healthcare and you are uh, doing it that many hours a week, you can't help but fall attached to some of the people you work for. And as people have known, obviously, I can't get into specifics, but one person that I care for deeply has been going through some challenging things, and you know, it's not it's not getting any better yet. And it's really sad. It really is. And so I would appreciate prayers for that person that's going through a lot of health problems right now. And you know, it's not a situation where it's physical health to the point where it's like, oh my goodness, it's a heart attack or a cancer diagnosis or something like that. But it's more of just other sorts of health problems that have serious ramifications. And it's been difficult. It really has. Um, and then on top of that, a coworker of mine had a really terrible tragedy happen to a family member, a young family member, uh, and that's brutal. I'm not going to get into many details with this either, but my coworker is someone that I've grown up knowing my whole life. He's older than me, and so he was basically an older uncle to me since the time I could remember being born. And he's family, and someone connected to his family had a really bad accident, and so I'd appreciate prayers for them too. What it all boils down to is my work situation is in incredible flux. When you're working with people with intellectual disabilities, autism, and things of that nature in a home healthcare setting, or for that matter, anyone in a home healthcare setting, one of the things that sadly could happen as people get older is that people's health changes. And that might mean that you're working with someone who passes away, or it might mean that you're working with someone who's capable of being in the community setting that you're able to provide support, but maybe because of changing health, you're no longer in that setting where you could provide adequate support. And for me, I am in a situation where, uh, because of the direct relationship I've had with some of the people I support, when they are no longer able to receive services from me, I don't know that I'll continue in this line of work. Um, it's it's very hard. It's very hard to get attached to someone who basically becomes family and then um, to do it all over again. And I'm not a young man anymore. When I was younger, I used to do float to houses. I would do, I might work with six individuals in a week span. Now it's like I'm basically working with one individual, sometimes two, sometimes three. And you pick up shifts here and there at other houses, but primarily I'm spending half the week with one person. And I've been doing so for almost a decade now. And so it's a situation where a normal routine might be where you come to work and you have a game plan and you have all these goals that you're reaching for, and you're helping the person you support live the life that's the highest quality for them. Now it's like I don't know where I'm going to be day to day. It might mean that I spend 30 plus hours in an emergency room. It might be that I'm in driving hours away to a medical facility. It might be that because I'm unable to go visit or provide support, that I'm just being moved to another house 2 hours away. So I have no clue on an average day anymore what my workday will look like. Uh, and because of that, it could be, I mean, you could spend hours in an ER, and there's no relief. There's no like, well, hey, it's time for me to go home. I'm supposed to punch out at this time. I have stuff to do at home. I have a family. That if you're in an emergency, you're in an emergency. And when every day becomes an emergency, it's hard to ground yourself. It's hard to really separate that work situation from your life situation, like maybe you're able to do in a normal week. For me, I've always been the type of person I could work hours and hours and hours. Like, I'll give you a story. Back when I worked at Burger King, I would work whatever hours they give me. I don't care. I'm getting paid by the hour. If they give me 80 hours a week, I'd work 80 hours a week. I was a young guy. I didn't care. But what infuriated me was they would never give you over 80 hours a week. And instead, what they would do, because I would tell them, like, hey, I'll work any hours, just let me know. They would put me down on the schedule. So at the beginning of the week, you get your schedule. And then they would be like, hey, man, we need you to come in today. Okay. I would come in. And then the next day, I'd show up to work and they'd be like, yeah, we don't need you today. And it was like my schedule was irrelevant. When we tell you to come in, you'll come in. And if you think you're working and you come in, we'll tell you to go home. And that infuriated me because I was like, I don't mind the extra hours, but I'd like to be able to plan my week. I'd like to be able to know, like, this is the day I'm working. This is the day I have off. What I don't want is to not know until 5 minutes before the moment, am I working or not? And so I've been like that since I was 17 years old. And I'm still like that, where it's like, for me, knowing my routine is very important to me, and it's certainly very important to people I work with autism and intellectual disability. And that routine is shattered. It just through a variety of medical situations, and it makes it very difficult. And what it means for you all is it makes it very difficult for me to stream because I just don't know when I'll be available. I just don't. Normally, on a normal week here, I know exactly what time I'm clocking out, exactly what time my sleep's supposed to be, and it goes like clockwork, as people have known. I know exactly when I'm supposed to be getting home from work. I can plan exactly what I'm getting. Now I have no clue. Theoretically, I'm supposed to be home at 2 o'clock tomorrow. That might be 8 o'clock. That might be 9 o'clock, or it might be 9 a.m. I just don't know. And so it's hard for me to be like, okay, I'll be streaming at X time. I thought for sure the way this week was going that I was going to be able to stream uh, tonight and probably last night. And unfortunately, it's not just work too. Then real life stuff comes up. Well, real life works real life, but family life stuff comes up, and so it's been very very difficult. And I apologize to everyone because I know that people expect more from me, and I even feel like if I was going to stream tonight, I have no idea what I was going to stream about. None. I India Pakistan seems to be at war. I've literally checked the news in the past 48 hours. I mean, maybe 20 minutes, and most of it was reading like stuff from BX Bullet and this drama she was doing. And I got kind of interested in it for 10 minutes and was streaming through that. And then I saw a little about. Am I back? Ooh. Let me know if I'm back. I think that I got muted because I got a phone call. Yeah, so what I was saying is it makes it difficult to stream, but then also it's a little bit of a bummer. It's I am lucky, I really am. And one of the things I've been very good at doing is keeping my world separate. So I could keep my streaming and my politics stuff separate from my life with my family, and I keep that separate from work. I could work in an environment where everyone around me super left wing. I mean, let's be honest, the healthcare industry, everybody's super left wing. I don't have to pretend to like people. I could separate it and I could like people, and I think I'm a damn good employee. In fact, I've been nominated in the past for Employee of the Year at my company. I think I'm good at it. I think that I found a job that I really like and that I think's meaningful. Um, and I've always been good, even if I have a difficult day at work, of when I go home, yeah, I'll vent to my wife for 15, 20 minutes, and then that's it. And then I'm happy, and it's like, hey, here I am. And even with like streaming and stuff, my wife would be like, how was that debate you had? And I'll be like, oh, here's the gist of it. And then that's it. I'm done. And I'm finding it more and more difficult to, because of the depressing nature of some of the health situations that's occurring with people I care for here at work. It's getting hard to separate that. It's getting hard when I'm at home. When I did this debate the other night, this is, I don't even know if I should say this, but I did this debate with Pisco the other night. I'm preparing. I'm super excited. Like, yeah, I just get to yell at this moron. Um, 10 minutes before I went on to get that debate, a person that I care for's father called me, and I had to give them some pretty bad news. Uh, and it just sucked. And the whole night I'm thinking of that. Like, just like my heart's just like, I don't know. It's hard to separate that. It's hard to just be like, yeah, okay, you know. But hey, life goes on. People have crappy situations that occur all the time. People lose loved ones, so it's no excuse. I need to do better when it comes to the streaming stuff. I got people connected to me like Black Elk that's just crushing it. Black Elk is an editor. He's gone from the time he's worked with me, he's gone from someone who literally had never edited, that's just sort of jumping into the foray, to I legitimately think like I am constantly awestruck by how amazing his editing is. Like for real. It's incredible. He deserves so much more than what I could offer him. And I, from the bottom of my heart, I hope that someone bigger like a Steven Crowder or someone picks up Black Elk and he makes a career out of it because he is absolutely fantastic. And he's connected to me. I have these other people that are connected. I think the best audience out there. I got great audience members that are donating money out the wazoo, that are making me wood sculptures, sending me stuff, sending me kind words. I have people reaching out to me. I've had 3 different lawyers reach out to me since the last debate I had that was like, hey man, if you ever want to talk about like legal stuff, hit us up. So, I mean, I'm blessed even in this space to have so many fans, to have so many people that support me, and I'm dropping the ball. I'm dropping the ball because whatever the excuse is, and I know my audience is going to be like, oh no, family comes first, work comes first. And yeah, I get that, and it does. But that doesn't mean that you all deserve any less. So I'm committed to doing my best to making sure that I'm starting to put out more content. I mean, one of the things, unfortunately, in a terrible situation that may end up occurring is I may end up not having a job. Not because I get fired, but because the services that I offer will no longer suffice. And if that's the case, then I may end up not working these insane hours anymore, which would mean that I'm going to be streaming more. I hope, in a weird way, I would love to leave this job under happy circumstance and make enough money to support my family. But I don't want to leave it in unhappy circumstances, and I don't want to leave it in a time where I'm not able to provide for my family. But that may be what happens, and so I guess the crux of what I'm saying is just letting people know what's been going on, and just asking for prayers. And the person that I support having a bad health situation, and then my coworker. I mean, not a half hour ago, I got terrible news about a loved one of his. And it's a real bummer, man. It feels like, when people you care about, when something happens, it feels like when it rains, it pours. And so you start to hear all this bad news at once. And so, but I always try to look at glass half full and, I'm healthy. My wife's healthy. My son's healthy. We're starting T-ball. There's exciting stuff coming, you know. And I guess that's life, especially as you get older. People you care about are getting older too. You know, I'm soon to hit that phase where, my parents in the next 10 years are going to be 70. And so, I've been blessed that I've had very little loss in my life. So maybe it's my turn, unfortunately, for that stuff to start to hit. So, but it's tough because, your parents dying or, folks like that, it's it's sort of the natural order of things. Uh, but when someone that you develop a relationship with, that you spend half your life with, that really relies on you, and then there's nothing you could do for them. It's not the same as a kid. I'm not saying that, but when someone looks to you and counts on you to help them with their life, and then you drop the ball and there's nothing you could do for them, and you're watching them go through this terrible situation, it just sucks. And I know rationally there's nothing I could do about serious health effects, but in the eyes of that person, I was there to protect them. I was there to look out for them, and didn't really work out that way. So, but all right, well, thanks. I will try to stream tomorrow evening. I'm real sorry about the way things have gone, but I do appreciate all of you all. And sorry I'm doing this weird landed bed stream. I could have set up the lazy a-hole I am. Oh, on top of everything else, my back's been killing me. Turns out if you have a herniated disc and you have like a normal routine, maybe sitting in hospital chairs for 30 plus hours isn't doing a lot to help it. So, but I do go back to the back doctor here this week. So hopefully they can get some good news for me. But I felt like I was getting better. And then, some of the stuff I've had to do at work here the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it's been pretty harrowing. Some situations involving physicality and other things like that. So, I don't think that's helping the old back situation anymore. So this is what you get, lazy fat ass laying on bed doing a stream. So all right, guys, thanks so much. Thank you for the kind words. Sorry I didn't read much of the chat. So I will hopefully be doing a regular stream from home tomorrow, and it should be all good. So thank you all so much.